Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. We're glad you're tuning in on the latest tips. Alternative salon, keep your head lit. And naturally yours, got your custom fit. T-shirt and Tanika, keep your wig drip. Double up the impact, call it Twinness. Hottest hairstylist in the business. Keeping topics fresh for your listening. Black owned woman independent. Like fishes hold it down on your imaging. Whether professional or apprenticeship. Showing culture love just to get you right. Black is beautiful, always shining bright. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness.
Good evening, Tisha McDonald here, Alternatives Beauty Studio.
Tanika Gillard, I am naturally yours.
So, do you have any lessons for us today?
No lessons today. Special Needs Disability Awareness Month is the whole month of March, so I'm pretty excited about that. But no real message today. Trying to pull us up on my Facebook, but I can't. But anyway, how's your day?
Busy. Last night we went to my granddaughter's second birthday, so we're getting in late, and so we're starting late today. Sorry, guys. It was totally my fault.
All right. As long as you took the reins for that one.
Yes. Let's get it started. So is the customer always right, Nikki?
Yeah, I wouldn't say always right, but I don't even think that that's a thing anymore.
Okay. So talk to me, the customer versus the owner. What do you have on file?
Customer versus the owner. We already know about owners overbooking their clients. I think that with COVID, though, that kind of lessened that happening. I don't know. I don't see as much overbooking as it was before, because you would be there for days. I think that put people, salon owners, better spacing out their time. As a braider, I've never had that problem because I always have to set the time limit. Now, if they get there early, that might be something, but that's different than just having everybody there, at one time.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I asked when I took over this salon was, what do you want to see done differently when I take over? And the number one thing was overbooking. So I've always, even before COVID, I've always been an appointment only salon, never overbooking. You might catch me at the tail end of a service, but you won't catch me booking two people at one time.
But you could do that. I mean, yeah, you schedule your clients out, but you could start one at 8:30 and then have the next one at 9, but you're not finished with that 8:30, depending on the services that you provide. So
Right.
that's still, to me, overbooking. If you say, I'm got you, I'm only going to deal with you, but I've seen where it's, okay, I'm starting you at 8, I got you at 8:30, I'm starting you at 8:30, I'm starting you at 9. So even though they have an appointment, you still overbooking.
It depends, because not really. Like if I know I'm going to be finished within an hour, so let's say I'm doing a lock and then I have another lock coming in that's getting maybe color or something else, I would have the first one, my lock come in at 9, and then I'll be like, well, it only takes me about an hour to do a lock. So I'll have my next client come in maybe 9:30, so the color could set, and then by the time her color finished sitting for 30 minutes, now I'm finished with the first client, the locks, because he's going under the dryer. And then I'm starting on the other locks,
Okay.
which I know is going to take me an hour
Okay.
after that. So that's, that's why I say you can kind of take it in if you know your time. But if you don't know the timing of your services, that can be an issue. So owners
Okay.
need to know the timing of their services.
Okay. Okay. What was your number one?
That was it. It was overbooking.
So what's your next one?
My next one is if the owner is late, because the owner will say, if you're late, we're going to charge a penalty. We're going to charge you a late fee. But if the owner is late, then what is it? Are you going to give that customer $15 off or whatever your fee is? Are you going to give that off if you're late?
Mm-hmm. I understand that. I think in my clause, I know, I always give a 15-minute grace period. So I allow that because you never know traffic. You never know family situations, so I do the 15-minute grace. Now, after 15 minutes, you're canceled as far as I'm concerned. But I think that owners now, like if you book online, that's in the inline fee. So I charge a $25 deposit. That's if you cancel or don't show up or, whatever, that $25 is your late fee or,
I do a 15-minute grace because I have a lot of times new clients who don't know where I am, and I am kind of like hidden. So I do give a grace for that. And just in general, it's a 15-minute grace. It's always been a 15-minute grace. Plus, I build that 15-minute grace into what the service is. Okay. So, yeah, that way I'm not running late or, I'm not running late for the next client.
Okay. I did the customer complaint to the owner might be products, like non-quality products, you're using the cheapest stuff on my hair. So I think that might be an issue for a client. But
writing that one down.
Okay, but I don't feel like you should have to use a certain line all the time. Like I've had a client that came, she said, you don't use this, particular product. I'm like, no, so because it doesn't always work, that product that she was recommending, because her hair was even dry and brittle. So I'm like, it's not even working for you, but you're suggesting it for me. So yeah, I think
I agree with that because not every product is for every hair type.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have several for let's say twisting. I have a twist and stretch cream. I have a twisting, extend cream. I have, for the, so it's always different. And then the consistency of it. I might like a cream base for this one, but I might want a gel or, a serum for a next kind of hair type.
Right.
So you have to have a variety of products there. And it doesn't have to be all in one line as long as it's all a quality line.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I had to write that one down. Unruly children in a salon. Customers. So I have two customers at one time. One has a child, the other one doesn't. Maybe a single person who doesn't have any kids, don't want any kids. Now I have this mother here with her child here all over the place, won't sit down, playing with the salon chairs, stuff like that. So that can be
yes,
for a customer.
It's a turnoff because if you're there for relaxation, having a kid running around is not relaxing for the person. So some salons put it in there like no children allowed, which is kind of harsh, but at the same time, there's other people there. You have to take that into consideration as well. So I do agree with that. Like, no. But, with me and my space, it's just me and the client. So that's when you have no other person in there at that time. So it's just me and the client. So it doesn't matter if they bring their kid.
Even then, sometimes me as an owner, I don't want to necessarily,
Yeah, sit down, hush, stop acting up,
no,
listen to your mother.
It's that because, and as an owner, it's like, I'm sorry, sweetie, but you can't play with that chair. Right. I'm sorry, sweetie, you can't be on that stool. How many times am I going to sweetie to death? You know what I mean?
Yep. My one customer complaint to owner would be having a new person on their head. I get my hair done. It's two people on my head. And then it's like, the next time you come, we're going to have our new girl. I said, no, I don't want a new girl. I barely want the two of y'all. So no new person on my head,
Yeah, that would have to be something that's discussed prior to. And if
Right.
you have a new person, they should be taken in the new client,
Hmm.
maybe, as
Hmm.
opposed to some of your old clients, because they don't know who that is. They don't want everybody touching on their hair.
Yes.
And that's also a problem when you're ready to expand and you hire that next person out. They don't want to go to that person. It's like, well,
Yeah, yeah, I get in trouble all the time, even if I take off and they're like, Nikki, you sent me out to this person or that person, they would not like you, but yes, your clients get spoiled and things like that with the sarcasm and everything. They're like, no, I miss the abuse. So, yeah, it's hard to get a new person on your head.
okay. Um, Customers, they like to know that you're staying current with the trends.
Mm-hmm,
Now,
mm-hmm,
some of the terms that they use is like, what is that? But then when you look it up, oh, that's just a box braid. I always talk about this story when this girl came from Detroit and she called micro braids zillions. And I was like, what's a zillion? And then, once I looked it up, I understood it was nothing
mm-hmm,
but a small box braid. And so I was like, oh, okay, micro braids, but they call them zillions. So staying up with the current trends is something customers want you to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna debate you on that one because we had a stylist at the shop who posted, I don't offer a lot of services, but I'm like the best at the services that I do give.
And
You
that's true.
know,
That's a niche. That's a niche.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And so I was like, thank you for putting that out there. Like, I appreciated that post, the way she said it and everything. And, it was because, yeah, you need to stay up with the current trends and stuff. However,
You don't have to do them.
yeah, you don't have to do them. So she knows that her specialty is color. And so in flats, like with your natural hair, she's good with the roller sets or whatever it is. And so she's like, I don't do all the styles, but what I do give is the highest quality.
Yeah, like I don't do lock extensions. For
Hmm.
me personally, so don't come for me. For me personally, either you want the real locks or you don't. So I'm
Hmm.
not sitting here doing lock extensions and all
Hmm.
of this stuff. I might repair the locks and stuff like that, but I'm not sitting here doing a whole head. And if I am going to do it, you're definitely going to be charged for it because I do,
Yeah.
of course, know how to do it, but
Mhm.
that's a service I choose to not do.
Yeah, and staying current with the trends. I'm always on YouTube, just looking and seeing what they have going on there. Always in my Instagram feed is stylists and things like that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty nifty. And I like to stay on top of the trend, not only because of the terms, but the techniques. The new generation comes in. They have a different way of doing things. Some I agree with, some I do not. But it's fascinating to see what their hands are creating. So
Yes,
I
I
love
love
that.
I love to see the younger generation come up. And if
Mhm.
there's a way to bridge the younger and the older and meet in the middle, that would be
Mhm.
great,
Mhm.
because the younger seems to undercharge what they're worth with their new skills.
But
Some
they
of them.
don't know. They don't know.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So your
Or they
turn?
don't have the confidence yet
Yes,
either.
yes, yes, yes.
I would say lack of cleanliness.
Mm-hmm.
Customer would be upset about lack of cleanliness
Mm-hmm.
or bad odor. You know.
Tanika, I tell you the truth, because when people walk into my salon, not only do they feel like it's comfortable, they also love the smell. Tanika, I've been using the same candle since I opened 13 years ago. I love this candle. It's two that I love specifically. One I use at home, the other one I use at the salon, but they love that smell. And every time they walk in, oh, I just love this smell. It's just so comforting,
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
For me, my little space, I do a candle, but I also have air fresheners in there. I also, since my space is close to the restroom, I have a candle
Mm.
in the ladies' room. I have air fresheners in the ladies' room. And the owner appreciates that. He's like, thanks, Nikki, for doing that. But we are ladies. And so, and the back part is for the ladies. And, but sometimes the fellas sneak in our bathroom. It's like, get out of here. But yeah, so having that nice fragrance and clean, like clean floors, clean chairs, when they see that you're
You're
clean.
supposed to be sweeping after every client. Tanika, I still, even from school learning, wipe the bottom of my chair, keep it
Mhm,
shiny, keep it
mhm,
silver. It shouldn't be full of crud,
mhm,
from gels and
mhm,
hairsprays and stuff that got, every now and again, I still take that little toothbrush every now
mhm,
and again.
mhm. Yep.
So sign it up. Don't forget to wash your mirrors out, use your Windex for your mirrors and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Every now and again. And people want to see, sometimes they'll walk in and I'm changing out the barbicide. They
Mhm.
want to see sometimes that you're cleaning.
Right.
So if you're taking that, if they're using the bathroom and, you could start cleaning right then. And they'll be like,
Mhm.
okay, she's
Mhm.
preparing for the next client or,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes. What was yours?
Mine is, and this is my last one. Some customers don't like, and here we disagree, you having them wash their own hair.
Yes.
Yes.
I get it. I get it. I get it. You know, I already told y'all it's only the braiding clients I don't like to shampoo first because it takes up too much time. Now, if you come and you're not and you need to be shampooed, I will do it, but I have to try to factor my time and play around with that a little bit differently. And all of my clients have a lot of hair. Pretty much, their hair is very, very thick, and so that's why I prefer if you're getting a braided style that you come washed and ready. But if not, it's not that I don't have the supplies to shampoo your hair. It's just a little bit more time. Not even a little. It's like an hour extra.
Nikki, you can wash and blow somebody in 30 minutes or less.
Well, I take my time shampooing when I shampoo. Thank you very much.
We should all take our time shampooing.
I'm
All right.
in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Do you have anything else on that side?
My last was the hair was not coming out right. So the client asked for something specific and it's not coming out the way they want it to come out. And so that's a customer to owner.
Asked for this and got that.
Yes, yes. Sometimes that's even with color, like the color didn't take, but sometimes that's inevitable. Like that's not the stylist's fault. That you might have had some undertones or whatever. But I always tell people I'm not a duplicator. I'm gonna get it as close to the style or do my version of the style that you gave me, but I'm not a duplicator. So if you want that style, you need to go to that stylist. But I'm gonna give you the best I can give you.
Okay. Okay. So you ready to do owner versus customer?
Yeah, I'm ready. I only got 3 for this one, but I might find something else.
Okay. We already kind of touched upon it, just like the customer being late. For us, it was if the owner is late, then the customer wants to know what their discount is going to be.
Mhm.
My thing is when the customer is late, or if you have a habitually late customer.
For me, if I'm late, sometimes I'm rarely late, Tisha. I'm rarely late, so I
Me
can't
too.
even
I'm always
say.
there early.
But if I was late, I would give a discount, even if it's just $10. I was late. I'm sorry, just to let them know that I do value your time. I do appreciate you sitting here waiting. Because if it was me, and I waited for you 20 minutes out, and you're not here, maybe it
I
might be
agree.
one of those overbooking things, or forgot that you booked the client and so you didn't have them in your schedule or on your
Right.
appointment.
Right.
So things like that happen. Like, did you get the message? Isn't my appointment today at 10? No, I didn't have you there.
See, and that happens to me a little bit often because sometimes my clients will book online and according to mine, you pay the full price when you book. However, I will have clients in my book that needs to go into the system that I haven't put yet. That just recently happened to me. Actually, it's coming up on Tuesday. One person booked at 10 and paid. And then I already had a client there, but I didn't go into the system and add them. So I asked the one that's not in the system, my fault, if I can move her down. And she didn't have a problem with that.
I had the same thing that happened to me. I have a client coming on Friday. And she booked with me just on my calendar, but in the system I didn't put it in, so I had to ask her to come the Thursday instead of the Friday, since the Friday already booked online and paid. So she was fine with it.
And it's a rarity that happens, but that's why I would prefer my clients to book online. That way I'm not the middle person in there, because now I have to go. I still didn't add her to my roster. And so I'm gonna have to do that like tonight, as soon as we get off of here. Because I have clients that's booked all the way out. And sometimes I just don't have the time to get in and add them on.
Right. I know, like I'm already going into April and my 2 clients today already booked for April. So I need to go into the system today when we get off and put them on the calendar so I won't forget. But
Not
yeah.
only that, I have a hair show coming up at the Jacob Javits Center. I need to put that in my schedule so it could be blocked off. Then I have the makeup show coming in April. I have to block that off, even though that's a day that I don't work anyway, because that's on a Sunday. And then on a Tuesday, the school is supposed to take the children to the Jacob Javits. So I need to block that off. So I don't have, and I already have a client on that Tuesday, but I'm going to move her because this was last minute that the school decided, yes, we can take the kids. And so I'm sure she'll be okay because she gave me but anyway, we're getting off topic. Again, owner versus customer. It was the unruly kids because it could go either way.
Like the owner having kids?
The owner having their own kids there, running them up.
Yeah. Well, on that, y'all are watching Twinness with Tisha and Tanika. Y'all can find our books on Amazon, where we have various topics on different things when it comes to hair and the beauty industry. You can find us on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Twinness, where these videos are probably there. So y'all just catch up with us wherever y'all can because we're everywhere. But yes, I think with having Rain and Cordell when they were little, I guess my clients are a little sympathetic to my needs, you know. So I'm okay. They're okay with it. I'm happy I don't have to bring her with me too often. But when she was younger and I had to bring her and stop to change her pamper, stop to feed her food, I would feel bad because I'm like, I got to keep stopping. And that's making my time longer. So,
and remember, my kids were young. They were 3, 4, and 5 when I opened Alternatives. So I'm happy that they're teenagers now. But I will always say it's not professional for me to have. I will always say to my husband, it's not professional for me to have 3 children here. So I couldn't wait. I was happy that I was able to get daycare. It was a backup list for daycare. So once it was open, I was so relieved. But then now my daughter is 16 and she's upset still because she felt like I left them in daycare all day. You know, she didn't like that. We were the first ones there and the last ones picked up. You know, she hated that.
At the same time, when you're a young entrepreneur just starting with your business, you do what you have to do. You do what it takes. You might not have all the resources available. And sometimes clients have to be a little understanding because of that. However, they don't necessarily because they could find someplace else to go. They'll say, I don't have to put up with this and go someplace else. But I think it really just depends on your clientele. And it also depends on the quality of service you're giving them. So if they say, I'll put up with Rain fussing because I know my hair going to turn out good in the end. So I guess it depends on that. For me, I have owner to customer price haggling. Like you're not going to haggle me about the price or comparing the price to another salon. Well, if I go over here, it's cheaper. You know, I'm not going to price haggle with you. It is what it is, you know.
The price is the price, as they say on TikTok.
Because you don't go to the mechanic and say, oh, can I haggle you down? Their price is their price, you know.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Mine was customers taking too many breaks.
The smokers.
I don't have smokers, thank God. But it's I have to use the bathroom. Can you give me a moment if you're doing like a box braid? That's my head just needs a break. You know, the ones that slide out the chair because they're tender-headed, stuff like that. All of these breaks that they got. Oh, I drank too much coffee today. I drank too much water today. And I'm like, I need to get you done because I have another client after you. You know, so it's the clients that have to constantly get up.
I got you on that, but it's always, Nikki, you could take a break if you need to. I'm like, I don't need a break. I'm good. Let's go. Thankfully, I have maybe one client and she's a smoker and she has a lot of joint issues. So she has to get up and she got locks, see?
Okay.
But it's like, okay, let's get you done, you know? So yeah.
Yeah. And clients will ask me, are you going to take a break? I'm like, no, for what? Box braids is only going to take 3 hours, you know? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you know my box braids take at least 5, but you know I do mine a little smaller than yours. Anyway, my last one, and I think we touched on it as well, was the unrealistic expectations for the skill set that you offer. Like, I don't do a lot of different things. And sometimes a client will say, Nikki, I trust you. You could do it. It's like, no, that's not my thing right there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Knowing your limits.
Yeah, knowing my limits.
I had two more. I have, we're going to go back to the saying your hair is clean when it's not. So if you ask the customer to come washed, then they're like, yeah, I'll wash my hair. But then when you get in this, they sit in your chair. Now you still got to take them to the sink because
that happened to me. That happened to me. It was horrible. I'm like, you couldn't have washed. And that was then. And they came yesterday and their hair looked 1,000 times better. They can't wash, but they're locks. And so I shampoo it. I don't mind. But they came yesterday and said, Miss Nikki, we've been shampooing our hair more often now because they have scalp issues. You should have been doing that before. But
when you don't know, you don't know.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
But so their hair looked much better yesterday. So I was very, very happy.
And I have to send you some shampoo bars.
Yeah, you do.
And someone asked me about the shampooing of my hair, and I'm like, I use my shampoo bars because the first ingredient is apple cider vinegar, because everybody comments on how clean my locks are, and I'm like, thank you. Have you ever done a detox? I'm like, no, never, because my shampoo bar has the first ingredient is apple cider vinegar, so I never have to do. Thank you, Renee. Okay, here we go. My last one was customers not fully telling the truth about their hair journey. What happened? You had mentioned color, let's say. So if a client comes in and have been using, let's say, a box color, me as a professional, I need to know that because the box colors have metallics and stuff in there that I would need to get out before giving you a professional color. It's just different. So I need the client to tell the truth as to when was your last color, who did your last color, because they'll be like, oh, I went here, but they actually did it at home, or something like that. So I need the clients to tell the truth about your hair journey.
It's the same thing when a lot of clients come and they might not have been groomed forever in a day, and they say, oh, I just went a month ago,
2 weeks ago.
and their hair looks a hot mess, and you have the thin strands and the thick strands. It's like, what's going on here? And then if you're paying attention and you already know, you could tell that they're on some type of medication. Well, what medicines are you on? What's going on with you? Because not everyone is forthcoming with that because that's personal, but you just ask in general, like, are you on blood pressure medicine or anything like that, which could be causing this, sometimes the clients pick a lot in one area. So it's anxiety. It's like, and so those things, need to be forthcoming with that. Yeah.
So that's our show, guys. You are watching Twinness, and this is Tisha and Tanika. We just wanted to do customer versus owner, and then owner versus customer, and some of the things that we hear our customers complain about, and then us as owners, what do we have that, might bother us about a customer. So it's good to have a two-way conversation about this. And we hope that we've said something to you, or you've learned something, or you learned something not to do when you go to a salon. We just like to shed light.
You can leave some comments for us, some comments in the comments, and y'all always inboxing us. So add to the list so we'll know.
Yes, thank you so much. And we'll see you here next week. It's going to be a next month. It's going to be a new month. And actually, Tanika, we might have to pre-record because next Sunday is my continuing education in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center, the International Beauty Show. And so I will be in New York next Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
We also got to think about Easter, you guys. Easter Sunday is in March as well. Are y'all going to be tuning in? What should we do on that Sunday as well? So stay tuned. We'll see y'all next week at some point, somehow, whether it's live or recorded. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you for supporting Twinness.
Thank you and have a good night.